Steve Gabash here with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review, and this time what we have is the Masakage Koishi Petty 150 millimeter knife. So this line of knives is kind of their top of the line, which has a very hard Algami Blue Paper Super reactive high carbon steel from Hitachi as the core cutting edge steel. They take that to a pretty hard 63 to 65 Rockwell rating, so it has really nice edge retention. The construction has a soft stainless cladding on either side of that core steel, and that stainless cladding has a couple things on it. It's got a kudo-uchi or blacksmith type matte finish to it, and it also has a tsushime or hammered finish, hammered pattern in the sides of the blade as well. Very interesting, aggressive look, and they've got a polished spine to really make that pop contrast-wise. So these are aggressive looking, really great performing knives. The weight and dimensions is going to vary just a little bit from knife to knife. This particular one is 74 grams or 2.6 ounces. Edge length is 146 millimeters or about 5 3/4 inches. Again, those might vary a little bit. Same with the overall length. This one's about 10.8 inches. The spine thickness, again, will vary. This one's about 2.8 millimeters at the back here, and I measured it. It's a little hard with the hammering on there. The spine actually is varying, but I got around 2.2 halfway down, and we don't have a ton of taper on these, but when you hit the grind, then it starts tapering out pretty thin at the tip. And then this particular knife's not very tall at all, so it's going to go wide pretty quick off the edge and hit the thickness of the blade. The blade height on this one's 29, and I don't know if that's kind of a more one-off length or size. You can see this is not very tall. The 120 was actually taller than this one. So, you know, if I don't know what kind of sizes Mark has in stock, you might want to inquire. If you get one that's more like the 33-34 range, you'll have more kind of a mini Gyuto pattern to it versus more like a utility knife like this one. So you might ask if you're leaning one way or the other. The handles on these are very nice. They're octagonal cherry wood with black peckerwood ferrule, and the cherry wood's just super nice, neat color to it, nice warm color. Very good fit and finish on the handle install, nice and tight, you know, attachment there and sealer on there. Circumference on the handle is about 2.5 inches or 65 millimeters. Balance point, as you might expect, is going to be pretty far back just because the handle, the overall blade's pretty light, and cherry wood's not that heavy, but it's not hoe wood. So here's our balance point on this one. These are very sharp out of the box. I'll give them a full 7 out of 10 on my scale. They're Masakage knives are known to be quite sharp out of the box. They're very nicely ground. Let's get our beauty shot on this. So as you can see, this has hand chiseled kanji, and it hand engraving, and it pops. They've done it after the kudo-uchi finish on there, so it makes it pop, and it's really a nice aesthetic. So there's your KU finish. Here's your grind down towards the edge. Here's your edge steel peeking through. Here's the left side, the right side of the blade as you'd be holding it. You got that hammered pattern and that kind of matte finish KU on it. Polished spine. You've got a sanded kind of polished choil, but they've got the KU on it, so it doesn't show that like the spine does, but it's nicely finished and rounded and relieved, so it's very comfortable out of the box. These are fairly stiff knives because they've got, you know, a fair amount of thickness to them, so they're quite stiff. And let's take a look at the cutting board. So this particular one looks like this. Again, little variances, but you could rock a little bit with this. Push, pull cuts, glide cuts, maybe just a little bit of chopping towards the back. So again, I don't know if this is kind of a one-off size and maybe it's a little shorter than most of these 150s are. I'm not sure. That might be a question for the forums or for Mark. But anyway, that's what this particular one does and looks like. So this is the Masakage Koishi Aogami Super Petty 150 millimeter knife.